Thursday, the midweek slate wraps up with it. This one is hilarious. Leicester plus 240 at home against Manchester United plus 105. The draw is plus 280. No team is unbettable. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you just heard us talk for 8 minutes about Bournemouth, who lost 9-0. But Leicester are very close to being unbettable. But this is a good spot to back the Foxes, I think. And you're getting them in very much a buy low spot. You're selling high on United after 2 wins, one of which was impressive, one of which I think was a little lucky on the road at Southampton. And I think this is last chance saloon for Brendan Rodgers. So if he is going to get that, performance out of his team before he's sacked, it's got to come now. So there is some urgency at Leicester. I think the Wesley Fofana situation being resolved is a helpful situation as well. So it's a numbers play. You don't want to bet Leicester. They've been terrible all season. Leicester City 40-1 to be last place at Christmas. That bet is live. Anthony, your thoughts here, United and the Foxes.
Yeah, the last of Christmas and the first manager fired are live, but I can't bet United, and I don't want to bet Leicester. If I have to bet, this is a really tough match for me because normally in this situation, I would have no problem taking Leicester plus a half given the number. And I do think this is a good buy low spot. We try to say we bet numbers, not teams, but Vardy did have a nice little lively stretch in the second half once they were up a man. But prior to that, there was nothing. I mean, he took 2 shots in the first 270 minutes of the season. So I'm really concerned about this attack. I think United has clearly taken a step forward in its defending. I understand they conceded chances to Southampton, but it did feel like they were able to get bodies behind the ball more. Lisandro Martinez definitely looks like a capable Premier League defender, which I wasn't sure about, when he came over from Ajax. So I think United is turning the corner a little bit. They're fine, but this really comes down to how bad you think Leicester really is. And given how low I was on them early in the season, I can't just come around and bet them here. So I'm passing.
BJ can bet them.
Yeah, this United team, they're a bunch of frauds. Like this is crazy.
Here we go.
So, I mean, listen, Anthony, yes, they won 1-0. I don't think they're turning a corner at all. I think they're actually taking a step backwards defensively. They allowed 47 touches from Southampton in their penalty area. That's insane. That's horrible. They're not getting better. They're getting worse. And listen, this is I've yelled about United so many times. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over. And this thing under Ten Hag, it could get better and they could turn this corner and they could turn into this great team. But they're supposed to, under Ten Hag, if you were given his same system at Ajax, which is heavily reliant on them pressing in the opponent's final third, they had 1 high turnover against Southampton. 1. Leicester, say what you will about them, but they were actually top 7 at playing through pressure last year. And United, I said it last week, this was their first win since February 20th on the road. They've scored 3 goals in their last 9 matches away from home. This team is a bunch of frauds, okay? As currently structured, if they get better players, they get Anthony, they might get a little better. But, I mean, yeah, I'm playing Leicester. I'm playing them plus half a goal at minus 118. You wait for the underdog section. You might hear me play them there as well. I mean, they have a very, we've said it many times, they're very lame duck feel around them. Like you said, Michael, the Fofana situation getting sorted out, I think is a net positive for them. They have been unlucky defensively. It's mainly bad goalkeeping, but, they've allowed 10 goals out of 5.6 expected, so those Leicester unders might be coming soon, Anthony. But yeah, of course.
Still haven't bet one yet. I'm getting there.
Of course I'm playing
building
Leicester.
The courage.
I'm going to fade United at every single turn until they show something of turning the corner. But 47 touches in the penalty area, that's not turning a corner. That's getting worse. So I'm playing Leicester.
I may or may not have a side bet with a friend. Over under number of times BJ Cunningham bets against Manchester United in this season. So far, we are 5-4-5.
What's the over under?
23.5.
Oh, it's way going over. if it continues as it is, it's going to be 38, Anthony.
well, I mean, here's an interesting thing about the match with Southampton was, I think it was Walker Peters towards the end of the match, right? Like he had a half volley that missed the post by like that much. that goes in the conversation.
They were only
about
able to hold
United,
51% possession against Southampton.
right? I know.
Ben Hag
that's-
was possession dominant Ajax. This team is not
I mean,
good.
Leicester is worse than Southampton.
They are, but I mean,
And the
honestly,
line's the
it's
same.
crazy.
So how like you know
How much worse?
That's
though,
where
is
I am on
Southampton?
this, right?
I don't think they're
Like
that much.
I liked Southampton last week. I thought they deserved a point out of that. They didn't get it, but like I think Leicester's worse. And so I must have really loved Southampton to even think about betting United essentially the same number here. I think Leicester is worse than Southampton. Their midfield is worse, and they just played 2 weeks ago. And Southampton dominated a lot of that match. So yeah, I think
Frauds.
we
Team is a
may
bunch
not
of
know where the
frauds.
bottom is on Leicester yet.
Do we know where the bottom is on United?
Oh,
yeah, I think we saw it in week
the
2.
Brentford match is
Yeah,
about as
I
bad as
think
it's
we
ever
saw it
going
in
to
week
get.
2.
I mean, De Gea kicked it into his own net twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think we
Maybe.
might
All
say-
right. I'll give you guys that one. Okay. Yeah.